Welcome to Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And this is a show where we demystify technology. We take apart acronyms and explain them to you, and we show you how your technology works. And today on the show, gonna get a little geeky. You're gonna step behind the scenes of email.
Yes, and we have a couple of acronyms there as well. And a loaf of bread.
And a loaf of bread, yes.
And
yes,
a mailbox.
Indeed. And a mailbox. Wonder what that's about. It'll be interesting. We're going to show you the difference between POP3 and IMAP email, the two different technologies, are kind of a primary technologies behind how your email works, and you actually have a choice these days, as it turns out. And we thought we'd bring a little bit of food along to the set just to kind of explain how that all works, because we know you love the food demos.
And it's one of those things we do.
And we just kind of do that, yeah, exactly. Just to make life a little bit fun and more interesting and easier to understand. So that's what we're going to do on Lab Rats today. So without further ado, let's take a break, and when we come back, IMAP versus POP3 demystified. Today on
Bread Rats.
Welcome back to Lab Rats. Well, before we get started, a quick message from our sponsor. That's VeriSign, a really great partner of our company, Two Cows, and butterscotch.com. Of course, now VeriSign.
They sent you a message.
Well, they've sent us a message out of the mailbox. So it's a company that is trusted to look after .com and .net and safeguard and run it too. So if you want to find out more about how VeriSign, which is responsible for this like really cool plumbing on the internet, does what it does to safeguard all these things for you, then you can zip on over to their website at verisigninc.com/connect and find out how they've been doing all this stuff for more than a decade.
Very good.
Very good, very exciting.
A lot of good information.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Carruthers, get rid of the mailbox. Let's get to this.
We'll get our virtual mailbox now.
Speaking of plumbing.
Yeah, so one of the things that a lot of people do on the internet is email, and it's a long-standing protocol on the internet for retrieving mail. So you've got a mail server that's out there that keeps your mail, and then you bring it home, basically onto your home computer. And there's a couple different ways to do this, as you mentioned. One of them is POP3, and one of them is IMAP. We'll go into both of those in a few seconds.
Okay, good.
So,
where do you want to start?
Why don't we start with POP3, because this is the one that has been out there for the longest.
It is. It's the oldest mail protocol around, at least within the internet vintage. I think there have been other mail protocols before it kind of became consumerized, but really POP3 was the one we kind of got when we first started using the internet. Pretty
much, and it's still around to this day, and a lot of people think there are holes in it, and it's not as secure as it could be. There's more secure versions of it out there, like APOP, but for the most part, if you're out there using mail and pulling it, chances are you're probably going to be using POP3. And POP stands for Post Office Protocol, and it sort of makes sense, right? So
version 3, apparently.
Version 3. So there's a way that this works. So you have a mail client over there. That's your empty mailbox, right?
This would be like Outlook or Thunderbird Mail, or so a program that I would use to grab my mail, and I would install the email settings in there, and I'd either specify it as POP3 or IMAP, depending on what my email host would allow me to do. Now, most hosts these days, specifically I think of hover.com, will allow you to do either or, and you get to choose. So I'd install the POP3 server and the user ID and password, and then I would have Outlook ready to receive mail.
Right. So when you install the server information over there on your client, you'll basically be pointing to the server, and that's me over here. So I'm sitting here with
So this would be mail.hover.com.
Mail.hover.com or your particular mail server.
Right.
So the way POP works is it stores all of your mail in this box right here. So all of these messages, this piece of bread is one message, this one.
Look, I have 5 messages waiting for me.
You have 5 messages waiting for you. So each of these has different bits of information on them.
Which one's from my mom?
Probably the one with the peanut butter on it.
I got it. It's an attachment on it?
It's an attachment.
Okay, I got it.
So,
all right.
So now what you're going to do next is you're going to say, hey, I want to pick up my mail.
So I'm going to push my check button, and then, okay, so do I have mail?
It says, yes, you got 5 messages. So what it's going to do now is it's going to say, okay, I'm going to make copies of each of those messages for you. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then I'm going to transfer them to you.
Wait.
Well, we're going to have to do that. So
to clone that.
Hey, you're the client. I'm the server.
I know, but I just want to do this.
Okay.
There you go.
I see why now. All right. All right. So with POP, What it's going to do is it's going to take this whole stack here,
Yep.
exactly as it is, complete with this attachment, this huge, huge attachment
It's dribbling off of it.
that's dribbling off of me, and it's going to say, okay, here's message 1,
Okay, I got it.
and here's message 2. That took a while to transfer to you,
Yeah, it
by the
did.
way, because it was so big. It had a
Yeah.
lot of file there. Here's message number 2. Get
Yeah.
a little bit of your attachment there. That doesn't work the way when you're really sending mail.
Yeah.
So you got 2. Here's number 3.
Number 3.
Here's number 4.
Number 4, thank
I'm
you.
transferring the 2 one after the other here.
Yes.
And if you have attachments,
Have you noticed that actually comes in one at a time?
It does. Comes in one at a time. So it basically has this protocol where it says hello to the server, and then it says, hey, who are you? It's acknowledge, and you say, I'm such and such. Here's my password. It says, okay, here you go.
It's like a language going back and forth between the two machines.
It's a protocol.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it has this little code, and you can actually hack this manually too in a lot of cases, and type in these commands from a command line via telnet. That's really geeky. Most people aren't going to do that. Anyways. But then it sends them one after the other like this. And if you have an attachment on there with a great big file, it's
very
going to
good.
send that to you no
I
matter
like the
what.
attachment a lot.
So there you go. So there's your last bit of mail. So it took a little bit of time to transfer that over there.
Now notice that those are still there.
Yep. So are you done? Have you?
Thank you. I've
retrieved all
got
your
the
mail?
5 messages with my attachment, which is quite tasty.
All right. See ya. It's gone.
Okay. So now it's
Now
an empty mailbox.
It's
but
an
I
empty
have them over
mailbox.
here.
Yeah, you've got them over there. It deletes it off the server.
Wait a second. Now I have my iPhone. I want a copy of my mail.
Tough.
I don't get it because it's gone, right?
It's gone.
Okay, so I only have a copy over here, but I can't get copies of these over here.
Right.
That's annoying.
It's a bit annoying. Now, there is an exception you can make on POP. You can custom configure it so that when you are done this session, it doesn't delete it. It just leaves it there, which is sort of going against the whole purpose of POP in a way. But you can leave it there and set your client to delete it, say, after 5 days.
So you can make another set and actually put copies here and
Right.
that sort of thing.
So then you're...
But it's kind of cumbersome.
It's a bit cumbersome. It's not necessarily the most ideal way to do that.
Right.
So if you're going to want to be transferring between a bunch of different clients, like your iPhone and your work machine, you want the same stuff to go wherever you want, you're probably going to want to go to IMAP. Now, there's a couple upsides and downsides of POP. So POP, the upside, well, let me look at my notes here.
What is the upside?
All right. So the upside, of course, is that most providers make it available to you, and it is quick and easy.
Very
It's
common.
very common.
It's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's pretty bulletproof.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that secure, but you could get secure versions of it.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 right?
Yeah, and the downside, of course, is exactly what we showed here. If you actually delete it off the server, you can't get it from your other clients. And if you have attachments and huge files here, you have to wade through them one by one by one. So if your second message in the stack of 100 is some 5 megabyte behemoth, to get to your third message, which is the one that you really want and have been waiting for, you got to sit there and wait for the other one to download.
Right. Right.
Right?
Okay.
So again, there's ways around that, but the way that most people will be using this, no, they'll be waiting for that. So let's go to IMAP instead.
Sorry. Just wanted to see if I can hit Paul.
Yep, this isn't 3D.
No, I won't use the peanut butter. It'll get on the lens.
Yes, that would be bad. All right, so let's do this in a different way. So IMAP, same sort of situation here. So you've got your client there, ready to go. It's waiting for email.
Yep.
I have to get a maid in here sooner or later with all of this crap we throw on the floor. All right, so we've got our same set of messages here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to check my messages.
You're going to check your messages, and I'm going to make copies of them here. I've got, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, except I'm not going to send them all over to you. I'm just going to tear the top off here. This is header information. This tells you who sent the message, what the subject is,
Yes.
and a little bit of the message itself for information. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. And it all goes a little bit quicker than this, by the way. Number 4. And number 5. All right?
Hey.
And then your mail stack collapses.
Yes.
Okay, so there you go. You have headers basically saying
With no
the
bodies.
gist of the message.
So it's like the subject line, who's it from, maybe the first few characters.
Yeah.
But
And you can see, you don't necessarily want to download everything in your mailbox because that takes a bit of time, and you don't necessarily read every single thing, especially if you get a lot of spam.
right. Notice though, no peanut butter
No peanut butter on that particular one.
because
the attachment is
It's part of the body.
is
isn't it?
part of the body, and
Yeah.
you're not going to send the attachment. So,
Right.
so just as an example, we've got our message number 1 over here is the one with the attachment. All right. Okay. So now you look through your headers and you see all of those things, just the little bits of information. You say, oh, I want to receive a particular message. So which one do you
3.
want? You want 3? Okay, so now I'm going to give you the rest of 3. So I'm going to look at these ones right here, and you notice each of these messages here is still labeled. So I'm going to give you the rest of it now.
Thank you.
Wait, I gave you 4. So that's PEBCAC right there. But so I gave you the rest of 3, so now you can reassemble it. So you'll take part 3, and you'll put it on like that. And now you've got a full message 3. So both the header and the body of it right there.
Right.
And you could say the thing, now you notice one thing right there, is there's an attachment on 1, but you haven't downloaded all of this peanut butter yet.
Yeah.
Until you physically say, I want to get it.
Give me.
Okay, so I'm going to put some peanut butter on here and give you this message. And now you've got that one. And it only downloads that and gives you all of that information and download time after you specifically requested the attachment and the rest of the message.
Thank you. That's very nice.
So that actually saves a little bit of bandwidth, and it means that you don't have to spend all of your time downloading stuff to get to the other messages. You just get the basic gist of them and then just pull the rest of the information on the stuff you want. Now, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now what?
I'm going to leave this right here.
Why? I thought
Because-
you were going to clear it out.
No.
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 Why?
The thing with IMAP, which I don't know if, do we say it stands for Internet Messaging, Internet Message Access Protocol?
Read the notes.
I read the notes.
Internet Messaging
That's right.
Access Protocol. It says right there.
All right. So what this does is it keeps it here.
Yep.
And it keeps it here. So when I get more mail here now, I get more messages, they just go into the stack. I get more, it goes into the stack. So now we've got a whole pile of mail here, and it's just adding up with extra numbers. So now you can go back at any time to get message 1 again, if you want. Or you can get 3 or 6 or 10 or 600.
6,000.
6,000, you can get.
Now, as long as your provider gives you the space.
Right, now here's one of the big downsides of IMAP. When you keep all of this stuff on there and you get a bunch of attachments, especially if you get big ones, you can run out of space on your server end. So if your company, as you mentioned, doesn't give you a lot of space, then you're going to hit that point eventually where they're calling you up and saying, hey, can you actually please delete some of your messages? You're eating up all of our server space with these gigantic image files
Right, yeah.
that your clients keep sending you.
Right.
Which is one of the things that happened to me on my internet provider a while back. I have been signed up to a bunch of mailing lists for PR for various internet products and various computer products, and they send me press releases with images attached. And at a certain point, I just blasted right past the cap of my internet service provider and had to go and delete a whole pile of my mailbox.
Right.
So
And you also become very loyal to that provider because all of your mail is there. And if you change providers, you lose all that.
yeah, in theory, yeah, that's what happened. Now there's generally ways that you can pull all of this information down. So the theory here is you now have your iPhone over here, and you can get it from there, and you can get it from there. So
So if I ask for it again, I'm going to get more headers.
yeah, you're gonna get the headers again. So just duplicate what you got there, and then you'll request the message. I'll make you another copy of the message, and then send it to you again. So there you go. So you can
Yes.
get the same attachment over and over again. You can get the same message and the headers over and over again. And this allows you to make sure that all
It's
of
a
your
really good attachment, by the way. I haven't had peanut butter in forever. It's delicious.
you're not allergic to it, are you?
No.
No, good. So anyways, this if you work in a number of different places, IMAP allows you to actually keep your email available to you wherever you are. Now what it does is it creates a persistent connection between the client and the server. And as you change things on the server and the client, it changes on both ends. So you can actually delete one. You can say delete 3, and I'll say, okay, fine. Now it's gone on both the server and your end. So when you're using IMAP, that's the way that works.
Is it a pen? I just want to give a little plug to our friends at Hover. No.
I wouldn't have put it past them, though,
Hover.com
for all of your
for all of your
email needs.
email needs. There you go.
All right.
How's that? That's a freebie to Ross Rader, by the way. Ross is a friend
Yeah.
of mine. He's the general manager of Hover.com.
So does that clarify anything
That's
for you?
brilliant. And I especially like your email attachments, especially when it's smeared all over my hand. Thanks a lot. Ugh. All right, we done?
I think so. We'll just
We should
keep that now,
probably
Harry.
mention, no, we won't mention, we'll mention it after the break. Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, more peanut butter, no jelly, and a clip of the week, and your mailbag as well. That's after this. Welcome back to Lab Rats. So, POP3 versus IMAP, that was kind of fun.
It was, especially when we were flinging bread around.
I like it. One thing I want to mention is, or we should mention, is that there is a con to that we didn't mention, and that is what?
Well, one of the cons with IMAP is that because you're just downloading headers, for the most part, when you're downloading, when you're saying, what mail do I have, if you don't download the full message body at that point, and then you walk away and you lose your internet connection, like you're going somewhere else where you don't have a connection, and you want it to read that email, well, you're out of luck because all you've got now is the header. Now, you can set it up on something like Apple Mail or one of these other clients to actually retrieve everything, which is sort of moving more towards the POP method of interaction, where you're actually downloading the body as well. And then you can use it offline. But typically, it's sort of like an online connection, so that's the master repository and I'm interacting, but you can sort of cheat around that.
Right. Okay, good. And you know, the other thing is that I quite like to do is I've set up my Gmail account as my sort of master place where and then I connect all my different POP3 or IMAP accounts to Gmail, and I use Gmail as my client, and I retrieve content from that either onto my phone or through my computer or whatever as well.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to use both technologies.
Yeah, there are a few services out there like Gmail or like Microsoft's Live Mail, where you can actually use that as your repository and actually retrieve it via POP or IMAP, and there's usually ways inside their systems to show you how to do that. They're technically not one or the other, they're their own service, but they interface with those protocols so that your clients can attach to them as well. So,
Really nicely.
yes.
Good. Okay. Right. So we should probably have a look at the clip of the week. Coming up is a look at Peak 9. Is that right, Paul? Peak 9, which is a cool little device that does sort of some limited internet stuff and email. So let's have a look at that when we come back. Picture time.
Welcome on deck. I'm Matt Harris.
Hi, I'm Jay Goldman.
Welcome to the A-List. Hi, welcome to Miss Download.
So let's take a quick look at the device itself. Now, as you can see, it's very reminiscent of older model Blackberries. We have a 2.5-inch QVGA screen here. We have a scroll wheel on the right-hand side that we can use to scroll through our emails. And we press the scroll wheel in to select and open a message. We also bring up a menu here that we can use. We can save the message. We can reply all, and do all that kind of stuff.
So you'd like to see the whole clip of that little appliance, internet appliance, then you can zip on over to butterscotch.com at this URL on the screen right here and play it for yourself on your own time.
Sure.
It seems like a fun little device.
Just remember, don't just download the headers of it, though. You have to download the
Entire
thing.
episode.
Yeah.
So that 30-second clip was kind of like the header. It was like a little taster of it.
It was.
In a kind of interesting and naggle it. Forget about it. Can't think of the word. Drunk on peanut butter. Now is the time when we, on Lab Rats, when we dance, because it is picture time.
It is picture time.
Picture time.
So we have some pictures today, but we don't have any from you, the viewer, right now, because
No.
our bag is empty right now.
Yes, it is.
As we tape this anyways.
Yes.
But we have one from you,
Yes,
the
yes.
co-host.
I thought perhaps you would like to see this picture here. This, of course, you may recognize the gentleman on the left. That would be Boo. And the gentleman on the right, that would be Biff. The one in the middle is an interloper and a guest in my house. His name is Winky, and he is actually a cat who belongs to one of my dear friends and one of the new producers here at Butterscotch, a guy called Mike Gillespie, and that's called Winky.
And as it turns out, Mike is allergic to peanuts, so we actually had to clean up here.
We had a bit of a problem with the peanut. It's
Yeah.
like biohazard for Mike.
It is biohazard, so it is actually, we should use jam.
We will next
Jam
time.
is fun. We will use jam
More
next time.
to me, but anyway,
Difference to
so I
mine.
thought I'd introduce you to Winky, and then I will actually want to show you why Winky is called Winky, because Winky has one eye.
Well, all cats have one eye. They just generally have another one, too.
Yeah, this version of this cat only has one, didn't have the second one.
Oh, what happened? Was it an accident? or-
We don't exactly know. I asked Mike, and he said, well, when he got the cat, it was older.
Mm-hmm.
But as the story goes, he either had cancer of the eye when he was a kitten,
Mm-hmm.
or an accident, but it's sort of lost in the mists of time. We don't know why. But
It's a bit of a bummer, but this is a survivor right here.
he does not know that he has one eye. He's got no clue. He can see everything except if you do this in front of the closed eye, and then he can't see you. But for the most part, he's just like, whatever, I can see.
Yeah, cats
I'm
are
on
pretty adaptable. One of my friends actually had a cat that ended up losing both eyes because he was so old, and he's like cool with it. It's just like, whatever, I'll walk around the house.
Yeah. He just sort of uses whiskers to find his way.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go. See?
Cats are cool.
Cats are cool.
You need a cat, Paul.
That's right. Get a cat, Paul. What are you going to do? All right. Well, if you would, once Paul stop yelling, if you'd like to send your picture to us to show here on the Fabulous Lab Rat set, then you could email us at.
Make sure that you also send a request for Paul to get his very own cat at labrats.tv.
Yes, and that's a very good email address, by the way. Quite utilitarian. And
Actually, I'm not sure it's a good email address because if Paul's not into having a cat, he might not feed it, which is a bad thing.
that's true.
It's a very bad
Then we'd
thing.
call the cat cops on him, and then he'd be like in prison.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, if you want a more simpler way to send your emails with pictures attached of one-eyed or two-eyed cats, you can email them to.
Feedback at labrats.tv.
Yeah, that would be much easier for you to spell, I would imagine. All right, well, that's email demystified this week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you.
And as much as you enjoyed licking attachments off of your wrists.
It was very nice, you know, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to cause any deaths, you know, of producers here, except for Paul if he doesn't get a cat. Sigh.
Meow, Andy. Meow.
All right, well, thank you for pushing play this week. You know, it'd be foolish for us to be here with peanut butter if you weren't out there going, IMAP, POP3, I don't know which one. My name's Andy Walker.
Sean Carruthers.
We'll see you next time.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
And in 5, 4, 3.
Hello, and
Holy
Too much peanut butter.
do it again.
And in 5, 4, 3.
Hello, my name's Andy Walker, and welcome to Lab Rats.